Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got a great one for you today. Got a little floating button up here. When I click on it, it's got a little drop down with some more products on it that are on sale. Click on it again, it's going to disappear. It's fully responsive. If I hit my F12 key, here we have it on iPad. If I click on it, there it is. We can scroll down. Obviously click on it, go to the various product. Perfect. And let's take a look on our phone. I'll roll back. Here we have it on the phone. Again, we can click on it. We can roll down, select the product we want. Obviously, click on it. Really easy to do. We're using the fantastic new Dropdown module that they've just added to Divi 5 today. So let's get started. Here's the page that we designed yesterday. Simple category page using a looper system. We're going to use a similar thing to build our drop down today. So I've got this page open. Let's go ahead. We'll delete this and we'll start from scratch. Okay, I'm going to roll down to the bottom of the page. There's an empty row from where I had my button just now. I'm going to add a new row with the little green button for a new row. I'm going to use a single flex column. Inside my column, you can use pretty much any module you want to do this. You can use an image or an icon. I'm going to use a simple text module. I wouldn't recommend you use a button purely because if you click on it, it's going to try and reload the page. So I put a little text module in there. Let's put what we want it to say, perhaps on sale. That'll work. We'll give it a background. I'm under content. Background's always under content. Let's make it a nice dark color. And we'll pop over to our design tab, make it a color that we can actually see. Here's the text. I'm going to capitalize it. And again, let's make it a color we can see. That's a bit better. I'm going to scoot it all into the middle by rolling down a bit and centering it. Now, as we're kind of using it for a button, I'm going to make it a lot smaller. So let's roll down a little bit more to sizing. Roll up a little bit. And I'm going to give it a width of, say, 100 pixels, px on the end, and hit enter. Great, well, that's going to work for me. Now we need to add the actual drop down itself that we want to drop down from this little text module. To do that, still in the text module, I'm going to go back to Content, Elements. I'm going to hit Add Element. I'm going to add the new drop down menu they've just added to Divi 5, and it's awesome. As you can see, it's put a little black box down below our button there. That's what we're going to use to put the products we want to advertise when they click on that button. So as you can see, we're in the drop down right now. We're still in element under content. So I'm going to hit add element. I'm going to use call to action. Again, you can use pretty much any module to do this, but I'm going to keep it simple by just having a call to action. I'm going to use the background image and a button. As you can see, it's put a pretty ugly call to action in there. Now, for anybody who doesn't know what's going to happen next, you have to have created some products. I've got WooCommerce installed on this site. I've created some products. Each of my products has got a featured image. It's got a title. It's got a price, obviously. It's also got a long and a short description. All we're going to use today is the featured image and the price. And that's what we're going to be pulling in with our looper. So if we go back to our page now, don't need a title. Get rid of that. Don't need any content. Get rid of that. But I do want a button. Put whatever you want your button to say there. I'm going to leave it on click here. You perhaps might want to say buy now or see more, whatever works for you. And it's left the sort of background color of that call to action, the pink down there with a little black border around it, which is our actual drop down itself. So still in my call to action, I'm going to loop it. We're still under the content. I'm going to go down. I'm going to hit loop and switch the switch to on. What do I want to loop? Well, not post because I haven't got any on this site. I want to loop my products. So I'm going to get rid of that by Xing out. I'm going to left click, roll down, can't see products. If you just roll down a little bit more, it's just under projects there. Down below, we can select the categories that we want to add. Let's add a few categories. Let's say perhaps dresses, shirts. and maybe pants or something like that. If I roll down a bit, you can see it's added a whole lot of empty boxes for us here, and that's actually the number of items I've got in mind. If we roll down a bit more, you can exclude posts with specific terms, or you can only include specific posts. Now, everywhere it says posts there, because we've changed it to products, that's products. So if you want to add specific products, just left click on there. It'll give you a list of all your products, and you can grab what you need there. I'm happy with the categories I've got. If we roll down a little bit more, you can order it by publish date, none, ID, title, etc. I'm happy with publish date. And of course, you can have it descending or ascending. Now, it's set by default to display 10. I think I've got about 12 or so of those products in those categories. So if you've got more than 10, you need to up that number. If you've got less than 10, you do not need to up that number because it won't make any difference. It'll just display the amount you've got. Now, that's all very well, but it's not looking very good at all, is it? It's just a bunch of pink squares on a black background. Well, let's fix that. Still in our call to action, let's roll back up to the content. Now that we've looped it, we can go back into our text. If you wanted to add the title of the product, you could do up here with the dynamic content. I'm not going to do that. The only thing I want to add here is a link for the button. I want the button to go to the actual product itself. So button link URL. I'm going to go over the little hamburger or disk type icon, insert dynamic content, or left click. Loop product link URL. So it's now going to take us to that product. We'll hit apply. And for the background, I want the featured image of the actual product itself. So if we roll down the background, remember we're still in the call to action that we've looped. I'm going to go over to the third tab, which is background image. And again, I'm going to roll over the grey writing there, go to the little disk type icon, insert dynamic content, loop product featured image. And we got our little featured image for each of our products there. And it was a pink highlighted button. That was the reason you couldn't see it before. But again, that doesn't look very good to me. Let's get it the way I want it. I want to see more of the image. I want the button perhaps be a different color. I don't think I want to have an icon on the button because it's changing the shape of it. So we're still in our call to action. We can do all that right here. Let's go to our design. First thing I want to do is make it a little bit deeper so that we see much more of our image. So let's roll down to the sizing. And I'm going to give it perhaps a height of 270 pixels. Obviously, do whatever works for you, 270px. That's got more of our image to show there. That's a bit better. Now, I don't want that button at the top there. I'd like it sort of down the bottom somewhere. Really easy fix. What we can do is roll back up. The layout, it should be set to flex. It is. I'm going to justify my content to the end there, and that button should drop down the bottom. Perfect. And again, I don't want it pink like that. So still in the design, we can close up our layout right here. Here's the button. We'll use custom styles. Let's perhaps give it a dark background. Take a bit of the opacity down so you've got a hint of the image behind perhaps. That's fine. Let's make the text itself light in color. And a lot smaller, and perhaps capitalize it. I'm going to make it uppercase and perhaps 14 pixels so it's less prominent. No, I think that's going to work. But of course, I just don't want it all in one big long row like this on desktop. That'll work for mobile. So what we can do now is go back up to where it says call to action. We'll roll back to the drop down, which is one before it. Hit the little back button. We're right there. I'm going to go to the layout. I'm going to switch it from flex to grid. Now it's set to one column. On desktop, I probably want about 3, but put as many as you want in there, 2, 3. Probably fit 4 in there if you wanted to. It's got all of our 12 products in there. That's fine. On tablet, I don't think 4 is going to work. 3 might be pushing a bit. Let's bring it down to 2. And for mobile, like I said earlier, probably just want a single column. So we'll take that down to 1. That's great. Now we've got to remember that when they're on mobile, they want to be able to scroll this thing. Plus, I don't want it down the bottom there. I want it to be on the top, floating up the top of the page somewhere. So let's go back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into our little text module that we had at the top there. Now, if you can't get to it, just go to your little icon on the left-hand side. It says wireframe view. There's our text module right there. Remember, all these other things are nested within inside our little text module here. So I'm in the text module. We can flip back now that we're in there. I want to flip it from being on the bottom down here to being on the top at all times. So in the text module, I'm going to go over to advanced. I'm going to go to position. I'm going to change it from default to fixed. What it's done, it's pulled it right up to the top of our page here. Now, if you're going to do this, one thing you want to bear in mind is that we need to give it enough space for our header that's at the top. So if we look at this page, I'm guessing that's probably 100, 120 pixels or so. So I'm going to put it down to about 150, which is what we've got there. So to offset it, vertical offset, make it 150 pixels. It's already got pixels selected. And let's take it out from the side, perhaps by about 10 pixels. Obviously adjust to taste. Now, if you roll down the page and things start covering it up, you can up the Z index. Just start putting a few nines in there if you need to, and make sure it's on top of everything else. What Z index does, for anybody that doesn't know, dictates what elements stack on top of other elements. Something with a higher Z index will always show on top of something with a lower Z index. Okay, so we've got it where we want it. We've adjusted the columns for tablet and mobile, but we may need to make it scrollable, certainly on mobile phone, because we won't be able to see all these products. To do that, let's go into our drop down again and get to it easily this time by just clicking on the cog. Here we are in the drop down. I'm going to give it a fixed height. I'll give it a fixed height of perhaps 70 viewable height, and that's 70% of the whatever screen we're looking at here. So over in design, we can go down to sizing, roll down to height. Let's give it 70 VH for viewable height. You can see it's cut it off a little bit at the bottom there. So we need to make it scrollable. To do that, we can go over to advanced and visibility. And this is pretty important, otherwise people are not going to be able to get to your items. On the vertical overflow, I'm going to change it from default to scroll, and we'll have a little scroll bar there. That way you can scroll down and see the other elements. Now, the only other thing while we're in the drop down, let's go back to our design. How do we want to activate it? You can have it activated on hover if you want to, by going down to drop down here. It's floating, which is fine by me. Hover, I'd rather have it happen on click. On sales acting more like a button there. So let's do that. Drop down selection below, that's where I want it. You can have it at the start. I don't think it's going to work anywhere else because we've got it on the left hand side. If I put it to center, it's going to be halfway off the canvas there. Same with the end, so that's not really going to work. So let's keep it to start. The offset's a little too much for me, 20 pixels. Let's just take the 0 off and have 2 pixels so we've got a little gap there between it. Something like that. Obviously, adjust to taste. So if we've done everything correctly now, this should actually work for us. So let's save our changes. I'll get rid of the preview I've got here and we'll do a fresh preview on it. I'm going to preview on the front end. Here we have it. It's sitting just about where I want it. Obviously, if yours isn't, adjust it more or less to taste. When I click on it, there's our little drop down. We can scroll down, see all our little products. Now, I want to take that icon away on that button because it's adjusting the size, which I really don't like. So let's do that quickly. Click on any call to action. Go over to design. We can go down to button icon. Now we'll go back to our page, refresh. Now I can click on it, and you can toggle it off and on simply by clicking on it, obviously. Now our button's not going to resize it. We can scroll down, we can see all our products here. Click on one, take us to that product, fantastic. Let's make sure it's going to work on tablet and mobile. Hit my F12 key again. Here we have it on an iPhone. And here it is. As you can see, we can scroll down all our products. Fantastic. Let's have a look on an iPad. There it is on the iPad. And again, we can scroll down, get to any products. Click it on, click it off. Just what the doctor ordered. So there you go, guys. That's how to create a nice little on-sale drop-down with a brand new drop-down module that they've just added to Divi 5. Really nice new feature. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions either about Divi 4 or Divi 5, pop them down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video just like this one. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.